Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. Meralco has announced higher electricity rates this month after its power supply deal with San Miguel's Power Corporation was put on hold. The power distributor says that residential consumers can expect a 66 peso increase in their power bills. Gerard de la Peña with the details.
Meralco customers could likely see an increase in their power bill soon. The power distributor still sorting out where to get the 670 megawatts it lost after San Miguel's power unit ended their supply agreement. But there may still be hope. Energy Regulatory Commission Chairperson Mona Lisa de Malanta told the big story that the power supply deal between Meralco and South Premier Power Corporation was just put on hold.
We received the official notice from Meralco on this matter, and it appears from their notice that what SPPC had communicated to them was a suspension, not a termination of the power supply agreement.
Meralco is now looking to pursue negotiations with other power suppliers. But in the meantime, the power distributor is sourcing its lost supply from the wholesale electricity spot market. The downside is, Meralco may have to source supply from WESM at higher rates by as much as 4 to 5 pesos per kilowatt hour.
We still need to see the other factors that will come into play. So to assume that we will already redound to higher prices, well, that's in terms of the bills of customer, well, that's a possibility, but still remains to be seen. We are still negotiating with other generation companies to secure the 670 megawatt supply in order to shield our customers against the potentially higher and volatile WESM prices.
As for the computation of the ERC, regular households consuming 200 kilowatt hours could likely see a 60 to 80 peso increase in their power bills.
We'll get to about an increase of 30 to 40 centavos per kilowatt hour. So that's about, for a consumer that's average consuming volume of 200 kilowatts, that's about 60, 80 pesos additional for the total power bill.
For its part, the ERC has given assurance that it will first vet any rate hike that will be passed on to consumers. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
In other news, supporters of suspended Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag gathered again in Baguio City. Bantag attended the event on horseback with the group marching from Casa Vallejo to Ibaloy Park. The embattled general thanked his supporters and said that he will now focus on the complaints lodged against him. Bantag's camp has yet to formally submit his counter affidavit. Instead, they filed for a petition for inhibition against state prosecutors. Meanwhile, the Corrections Bureau has identified the officials who will face plunder complaints over unfinished construction projects. This is in connection to the 300 million pesos worth of unfinished prison projects that BuCor Acting Chief Gregorio Catapang recently uncovered. Catapang said that 95% of the funding for the modernization of 3 penal farms had been released, but only 60% of the work had been finished. Plunder complaints against BuCor officials, including General Bantag, will be filed at the Office of the Ombudsman very soon. We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Some lawmakers continue to express their reservations about the Maharlika Wealth Fund, even after the removal of state insurers as the funding source. Marian Enriquez with the report.
Off our pension funds! Hands off our pension funds!
After receiving backlash, proponents of the Maharlika Wealth Fund bill decided to amend the measure. Marikina Representative Stella Kimbo said the government service insurance system and social security system will be removed as fund sources.
Sana, because nakita natin, yun ang kagandahan nung naging consultation, nakita talaga natin yung saan talaga yung concern, saan galing yung takot. And importante yung boses ng tao. Importante na pakinggan and at the same time, tugunan.
Instead of pension funds, the proposed Maharlika Wealth Fund will tap profits from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kimbo said the BSP has already committed to this after they allayed some of the reservations of BSP Governor Felipe Medalla.
Pero ang isang naging concern is baka lumiit ang reserves niya. So, of course, ang reserves ay kailangan yon para depensahan ng ating piso. Pero nung na-reassure siya na hindi naman natin kukunin ang reserves, but rather kukunin natin yung profits.
Still, Gabriela Representative Arlene Brosas raised concerns over the management of the MWF.
Kahit tanggalin pa ang GSIS at SSS sa pagkukuhanan ng pondo, maaari pa rin maging balon ng korupsyon ang Maharlika Fund. Lalo talamak ang korupsyon sa gobyerno at walang hinahain na safeguards para siguraduhin gagamitin ito sa tama, yung pondong ito.
Meanwhile, Northern Samar Solon Paul Daza lauded the amendment but appealed to his fellow lawmakers not to rush the passage of the bill. For Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, changes in the MWF bill only proves that it was not well thought of. House Majority Leader Manix Dalipe said the MWF bill could be approved on second reading at the lower chamber before Christmas break. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
Checking in on the weather, we have the low pressure area off Surigao del Norte possibly intensifying into a tropical depression this weekend. The LPA was last spotted some 490 kilometers east of Surigao City. According to Pagasa, this LPA will be named Rosal once it develops into a tropical depression, which is seen to happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. But for now, the LPA is expected to move west-northwest, headed towards the Caraga region and eastern Visayas. Meanwhile, the shear line and the trough of this LPA will be bringing rains over Cagayan, Isabela, Aurora, Quezon Province, Mimaropa, Bicol, as well as the Visayas, Caraga, and Davao regions. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Department of Agriculture confirms reports of onion hoarding to jack up prices in markets. The agency says some traders are trying to evade authorities by transferring supply from one storage facility to another. Officials in Qatar are now investigating the death of a Filipino worker at a World Cup training site. Initial reports state that the victim is a 40-year-old man who fell off a ramp while repairing lights. And Filipinas Got Talent champion Jovit Baldivino has passed away at the age of 29. His family says that he was in a coma for 5 days after a blood clot was found in his brain. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.